I'd like to introduce our first speaker, who is
Sure. Yeah.
Cassie Thornton. She's a motivational speaker from the Midwest, and she's going to talk about how psychopathologically are you today? I'm fine.
Well, I think so. I'm so psychopathological that I changed my mind, and today I want to give you guys a copy of this, and everybody that has been here for a little while already got to see it. But I think you have that right in front of you. It's kind of like the most amazing document that I've ever been given, and it'll come into play later. So even if you just read it later, that'll work. But
it's awesome.
So that's from a man who just kind of like applied to be in my life. It's such a good document. It's a resume. So anyway, I'm interested in storytelling, and I'm trying to get to be a really good storyteller. And so I thought I would start by telling you guys a story, and then if we're into it, we can act it out. It's really just a little like 20-minute story, but I feel like it's really complex and wonderful. And then I think that the conversation becomes about like how we could act it out if we can, and then I would also like to know your thoughts about like storytelling, my storytelling, your storytelling after that. I'm a teacher, so I feel like I'm getting better at it, but I feel like that can always sort of improve. So the story is that me and my friend Maya had an art show in Ithaca this last summer, and we were really busy, and we were wearing these kind of ridiculous costumes. We had a beauty salon that we set up, like a Brooklyn style beauty salon that we set up in this gallery, and we finally had an afternoon off. And everybody had been telling us that you really have to go to the gorge. The gorge is just so beautiful. It's gorgeous. And we were trying to get a free minute, and we just never could. And finally, like it's 4th of July weekend, and it's Saturday, and like we have like an hour free before we have to go to do our next event. And so we just want to take this walk to the gorge, and we go, and like it's silent. There's no one on the street. We see like one mother and daughter walking down the street, and we're walking along this stream that follows this road. And yeah, it's just like the most picturesque place. And there's this dead squirrel in the middle of the road. And Maya's from the city, and so she starts to flip out. She's like on her knees, like, what are we gonna do about this? Like, you can't just die like this. It's gonna get run over. Like, this is really a problem. And like it's really a problem because we spent like the next 20 minutes like kind of trying to figure out what to do with it. Neither of us wanted to touch it, and it was like convulsing, and it kept looking at us, and it had fallen out of the tree. So yeah, it was just like almost dead. So finally we decided that we were gonna try to like build something to protect it on the street, and then we decided no, like it's like these sticks aren't gonna protect it from the car. So we decided to like actually try to sweep it up and like bring it down to the river, because that would at least be a nice place to die. So Maya won't touch it, so I end up picking it up and putting it on this cardboard, and Maya's like crying and stuff. And so I walk it down to the river with her, and we put it down, and Maya is like, where's my camera? Like, I want to take a picture of this. And I was like, oh, don't worry, I've got my camera, so I take pictures. And then we realize when we're down there, or we come back up, and we realize like Maya's bag, she left it across the street on the sidewalk. And so we cross the street to go pick up Maya's bag, which has been splayed open. Do you need more chairs? Because there's more in my room.
I think I invited a couple other people.
Okay. So maybe when I'm finished, we can like go and gather stuff.
Yeah.
So we can be okay.
I'll just smack this cheek.
Okay. So Colin, I'm just telling the story.
Yep.
Okay. So me and Maya take a walk. I'm just gonna give you the short version. Me and Maya take a walk when we were in Ithaca, and we were having an art show, and we were going to see this gorge, and we walked down this really pretty street, and there was a dead squirrel that had fallen out of a tree. And Maya's from the city, and so like she's very sensitive to animals and like nature, and so she started to like flip out and cry. And we tried a bunch of things to sort of protect or save the squirrel, and finally we just decided to like sort of sweep it up and like bring it down to the river by the side of the road, and give it a nice death. And so this is a picture of the squirrel by the water. And so we come back up from the river and cross the street to go get Maya's bag, which she had left on the street while we brought the squirrel down. And the squirrel, or the bag splayed open, and Maya's like, oh man, the other squirrels must have gotten into my bag or something. So we start to take a walk down the street, and we're like, we go towards the park, and we see like her wallet open in the park, and then like her camera is also her camera bag, and her camera's gone, and there's like all these cherries that we had packed in her bag are like splayed all over the park, like all over the grass, and she starts to flip out and be like, oh my god, my camera's gone, my money's stolen, what are we gonna do? So we walk through the park, kind of like searching around for the rest of her stuff, and we can't find it. So we walk out of the park, and there's all these like safe community signs, and like like we're a neighborhood watch zone or whatever. Like the Boy Scouts own that street and take care of it. And we see these old people walking down the street, and Maya's like, "Hey, somebody stole my camera. Did you take my camera and my $20?" And they're like, "No." She says, "Well, if you see somebody like looking at a camera like as if it's not theirs and kind of laughing at the pictures, could you just like take it from them and give it back to me?" And we go to Gimme Coffee, and she like starts to talk to them. And then we're waiting on the corner, and this policeman pulls up, and she starts to tell him the story, and she starts to like assemble this like massive sort of team of people to search Ithaca. And it's like, yeah, it's 4th of July, it's a holiday, everything's silent. But like there's like 15 people gathered at the corner. And so all of a sudden, so we're in the midst of these people and this kind of wild conversation, and we see a monk across the street walking towards us. And so Maya is like, grabs my hand and is literally like, come with me now. And we've got to talk to this monk. And so we run across the street, and there's the monk, and he won't make eye contact with us, and we're right in front of him. And she says, sir, listen, I really could use some of your enlightenment, like some of your Buddhist advice would be really helpful right now. I just lost a material possession, and I know it doesn't matter, but if you could just please help me to understand that, it would really help me. And he just like looked at the ground, and he's like, I cannot help you right now. And the monastery is closed today, you can come on Monday. And Maya's like, what? And backtrack, we're both wearing humongous dress, like prom dresses. Okay. So the monk, so she asks again, the monk says, I'm sorry, and like just keeps walking. And so that's when this resume that's in front of you comes into play. So there's this amazing document in front of you, and when I had first arrived to Ithaca, it was for this like art fair or like this open gallery night, and a man had come up to me and given me this resume and said, I'm helping with this event today, but like I'm interested in doing other things in the future. Here is this document, and it's like everything about like his ideals in his life and whatever, how he can solve puzzles, and so I have that in my pocket, like in my purse, right, as this is all happening. And so as soon as the monk leaves, this guy's name's Eddie, and he speaks with an accent, an ambiguous accent. As soon as we finish with the monk, I see Eddie walking towards us. And I'm like, oh my god, like, we couldn't get any better. And so the police drive back, Maya goes and talks to the police, I talk to Eddie. Eddie pretends that he doesn't know me, even though he clearly does, and now he has a different accent. And